Hey, what's up? It's Zach, and what I'm going to be doing right now is talking about something called ideal life, specifically my ideal life. And to begin, I want to ask, have you ever imagined what your life would be like in the future? Specifically, have you ever imagined your life in the future in great detail? Have you ever imagined your life in its ideal state? And really imagined it down to a lot of specifics. What it would be like to spend a day in your ideal life. Well, I can tell you I had never done such a thing until recently. And I was exposed to this through Julian Blanc's Transformational Mastery training course. And in this course is a system that the big idea of which is about applying the scientific method to someone's life. Really more like applying the scientific method to someone's life purpose or life direction. Now, really briefly, the scientific method is, in my personal opinion, one of the greatest tools mankind has ever used to accomplish any human endeavor ever. What makes it special, I believe, is that the scientific method, although never fully removing, it controls for and thereby reduces human biases. Okay, human biases, as far as we know, have always existed. We haven't found a way around it yet. These are the things that cause us to be biased, to see things not straight on, to have selective focus, to notice certain things, to filter out certain things, to have expectations that influence how we think the world is, and many other such things as this that, just as you can imagine, interfere with solving a problem or accomplishing a mission of any kind. So the scientific method, again, although never fully removing all of, does attempt to control, therefore reduce human bias in any activity or any trying to accomplish any goal. So someone's life purpose or their life direction, taking that and applying the scientific method to that thing is kind of the big idea. And each part of the system is associated with a different part of the scientific method. In the scientific method, there's a part of it called just gathering data. And this corresponds in the system to something called a past audit. A past audit is basically a brief inventory of your entire life from the time you were born until present day. Places you were, things you did, events that happened, people you spent time around, decisions you made, and all these things. And also, what did you like about it? What did you dislike about it? And even asking why. Why was this decision made? And at times doing what's called following a trail of whys, which involves asking why and then getting the answer and then asking why again and repeating this process until you hit the hot warm center of additional insight. And so there's also a part of the scientific method, that was the past audit. There's another which corresponds to gathering data. There's another part of the scientific method called an experiment. An experiment is trying something. An experiment is testing something, trying something out and seeing what happens. Now this corresponds in the system to what's called core values. Core values are defined as what someone resonates with most in the present moment. Core values are what's most important in the present moment. It's what matters most to somebody, what someone's most passionate about. Now, all this is heading towards something called alignment, and aligning specifically this concept of core values with what we're eventually getting to now is ideal life, okay? And aligning someone's life with their core values, which would be considered an ideal life. So the experiment is, in this system, what if somebody lived their life in such a way as to align it with their core values? That's the experiment. And in the scientific method, there is another thing called a hypothesis. A hypothesis is a guess. A hypothesis is a prediction. It's someone's best looking forward and seeing what will happen if we run this experiment. So in the system, it corresponds to what's called ideal life, which is a life that is aligned with someone's core values. And when alignment, just generally, really quickly, an example of alignment is like if someone's biggest, most great core value is someone's greatest core value is physical fitness, and they spend the entire year and never exercise or never take any action to get into greater physical fitness or maintain physical fitness. That's an example of something being less aligned. It's probably less aligned. They're probably less aligned from their greatest core value of physical fitness. But if someone spends lots of time getting their body into physical fitness, then, eating nutrition that does this and takes many other actions such as, this is an example of something that is aligned with their core value. Cool? Okay, great. So that's what ideal life means. And it is the format of the ideal life in this system is a first person account that is approximately a page long in writing of what it would be like to live a day in your ideal life. So that said, I'm now going to share my ideal life. And it's going to be a little bit of a read, so forgive me for that, but you got to do what you got to do. So join me now, children, as I live a day in my ideal life. So I wake up early in the morning. I open my eyes and I see crisp, clean, organized space around me. This is one part of a larger system of mine of managing and curating my environment. For years now, I've been creating and maintaining many systems designed to help direct my life closer and closer to what I call my ideal life. Ideal life for me means a life in alignment with what I call my core values, the things I most resonate with and am most passionate about. The system of managing and curating spaces is about outsourcing my mood, outsourcing my decisions, and more to my outside environment. So my spaces reflect and call forth the mental, emotional states of my ideal values. I said ideal values, core values. My spaces reflect and call forth the mental, emotional states of my core values. So the first part of my day is devoted to critical well-being actions. It is the non-negotiable bedrock of my day, my systems, and my lifestyle. Meditation, physical training, yoga, breath work, and reminder session to get me into the mindsets that I most thrive in. And again, these are the mindsets associated with my core values. I don't eat breakfast. Over the years, I doubled down over and over again, making sacrifices for and investments into systems that optimize my health. With nutrition, I've embraced a diet that energizes, restores, and strengthens body and mind. With my actual diet, I've embraced eating foods that are mostly health conscious, mostly plant-based foods that are fresh and have tons of flavor. I'll eat lunch, dinner, and snacks later on in the day. Then I begin my workday. For years, my dream has been to have a workday consisting of more or less about 5 hours of uninterrupted, focused work on projects. Developing the systems needed to move me towards this ideal took years of time and energy, investments of time and energy, years of experimentation, redoubling my efforts, and many setbacks. And thanks to all that, I'm now working more closely to this ideal than I ever have before. As always, other less focused work, events, and tasks will occur at other times, phone calls, emails, etc. But the bulk of what I create and produce is done in this period of unbroken concentration. And that said, equally important, my work systems include many pointed, specific breaks, all dedicated to restorative and replenishing activities. This only sharpens my edge, only contributes to my productivity, my output, and my mastery of my craft. In the afternoon, I review and address my finances. Starting in my late 30s, I relentlessly tried, retried, and experimented with different systems to help me manage and get full control over my finances. Eventually, I got into a good position, and now it's only getting better. The rest of my day is spent with friends, family, and loved ones, and or in self-development or hobbies. And this includes giving back to people and organizations that I'm able to assist. I have a romantic, dating, sex, relationship life that I feel great about. The exact form of it at any given time is flexible. It's dependent on what needs arise. I have a full range of options available. Depending on what's most compelling to me at the time, I may be single, I may be playing the field, I may be monogamous, I may be committed, or really any option that is congruent with my do no harm philosophy. I've done a lot of work on myself to move forwards towards always showing up in a way that creates comfort, fun, and provides a win for me and whoever I'm involved with, whatever person I'm with. Throughout the day and evening, I will spend time investing into my community of relationships. I have amazing interdependent social support systems consisting of family and amazing friends. We laugh, support, share, play, have fun, intellectually stimulating conversations, and contribute to and enhance each other's lives profoundly. I also make sure to get out and have fun. Every week, I make time to go out and have social adventures, large and small, involving old friends and meeting new ones too. Although I was not always like this, I sought out experiences and invested into training and coaching of many kinds to move forward over and over again towards getting into what I call a full, authentic range of expression. I fully express myself. I have few to no inhibitions. I have lots of very real and authentic and fun interactions with people of all sorts who are around me. I have never stopped growing, never stopped expanding as a person, as a communicator, socially, and more. After I turned 38 years old, I began making repeated, massive investments into collecting, recording, and reviewing data about myself, treating my life as a great series of experiments. As a result of this, I have become a true self-expert and will continue to grow in this way for the rest of my life. Before the day is over, I will give vent to my unending curiosity. I have never stopped and never will stop learning, being amazed by, growing from, and taking in new and fascinating updates on reality in the form of ideas, in the form of data, or just the sensory experience of interacting with the universe that I am a part of. The result of all this is I get further and further into a life that I intentionally chose, and have more of the experiences that I most love to have. I experience serenity, what I call peace, my greatest core value. I experience radical acceptance, and my other great core values. I live my life in as simple and as carefree of a manner as is possible. I spend more time feeling at ease, without thought of past or future, fully immersed in my surroundings, feeling like a kid again in a state of play. Cool. So that is a day in my ideal life. Thank you for listening. I see you and I love you. Peace and love.